Hello and welcome to today's tarot card reading. Today we're using the Occult deck. Yes, I've used this before. Lovely deck. Great gilding to the cards. Really smoothness to the cards as well. And they have this little bit strange but interesting demonic theme all the way through. So it teaches you the different types of demon that there are. They don't translate directly to the meanings of the cards, but it's interesting. It's almost like an educational piece as you go. So yeah, so this is a major arcana only reading. Let's see what we have, shall we? Right, and we have upsides in the reverse. Beelzebub. Interesting. So Beelzebub is apparently the moon here. Interesting. It makes Beelzebub makes manifest the apparitions of demons, sets demons upon men to destroy them with vices. Interesting. Here's the sigils here of all the different of this particular demon. But it was in the reverse, wasn't it? It was. So the moon, we always talk about this unconscious mind when it comes to the moon, the opposite of the sun. Not necessarily the most trustworthy. Shakespeare, lots of quotes about the moon, for certain, where it's not to be trusted. Swear not by the inconsistent moon, lest your love be likewise, that sort of thing. But we're in the reverse. It's very similar in the reverse, except it's a little bit worse. So it's about confusion, so that sense of uncertainty, fear, and it can also mean interpretation gone wrong. Misinterpretation, that's the better word for it, isn't it? But yes, you're interpreting something not necessarily correctly. Somebody else might be interpreting something not correctly. Could be your own actions, could be others' actions. One way to find out. Let's look at the next card. And we have the Emperor. Bael. I think I'm getting that right, I'm not sure. But yes, Bael controls the weather, rain and lightning, curses or causes pestilence. It's quite a very spooky image here, for sure. Yes, disturbing. Okay, well, we'll put Bael there, shall we? Bael is the Emperor, and the Emperor stands for authority. You think of an emperor, you think of a monarch, a king, someone who rules with authority, structure in general, very framed within rules and regulations. But again, it's a very senior, important person, an emperor, so it also can represent ambition in general. So the Emperor here, yes, ambition. What are we seeing? So we're seeing confusion, fear or misinterpretation. Well, this is to do with structure and authority. So I'm starting to think to myself, this is most likely to do with misinterpretation. But maybe I've misinterpreted that. So let's find out what the next card is. We have the Empress. And the Empress, Gremory. Gremory, interesting. Okay, so Gremory here procures the love of a woman for any age, of any age. I don't know why I had to specify of any age. That's weird, isn't it? Tells where treasures are hidden. Tells of the past, present and future. So those last two things seem a lot less harmful than the others. Interesting. So the Empress represents creativity, luxury, beauty, so a sense of femininity often as well. So let's try to interpret the picture we have here. So what do we have? We have the moon in reverse. We think this is probably to do with some sort of misinterpretation that's ongoing. The Emperor, authority. Is it to do with misinterpretation of commands or a direction or somebody in a position of authority? Are you the person in authority? Is somebody in authority acting in a certain way to make you feel a certain way, but perhaps that isn't the motivation? Sometimes I think motivation is important, but if someone is making you feel bad, even if they're not meaning to do it, well, that's a problem, isn't it? Okay, so we have these two things coming together, and the third is this sense of creativity, this sense of femininity and beauty. I think here creativity is what we're talking about. So this misinterpretation from a person of authority, or you're perhaps in authority, is going to need a creative solution. We're going to have to think outside of the current realm to work out. I almost said outside the box there, but that stuck in my throat. No, I don't like that term. So yes, outside, just too businessy, isn't it? Just sounds too businessy, outside of the box. So yes, we're thinking something outside of the situation. Try to look at things in a more creative way. Try to not look at the first response. Often your first response is a little bit more shallow than a considered response. Yes. And that concludes our 3-card Major Arcana Tarot reading today. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you very much for your time. And I will speak to you again hopefully very soon. Thank you.